all up in my face, you're not from the clique. Give me space, we might ride it. Most say that, baby, they don't love the clique. I thought they love you when you make it. This some mud. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the Chargers going up against the Vikings. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
We are at the newest stadium in the NFL, and its inaugural year. There's a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the San Diego Chargers and the Minnesota Vikings. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Time to get a glance at the offensive starters, and one of those isn't J.J. Watt, but it's Derek Watt that we talked about.
Nothing wrong with being little bro here. A starting fullback at the University of Wisconsin. Not many teams are utilizing this position in the NFL, but he fits perfectly. Will be a great lead blocker and can catch the ball out of the backfield.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He won't go down. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Well, the person carrying the ball is always the easy target when things aren't going so well. But I think it's a combination with the Chargers. They've got to get the offensive line going.
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's picked off by Jelani Jenkins. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball.
Touchdown, Vikings! A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And now San Diego getting set to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll set up to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. following the penalty. Here's Gordon. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. They'll look to throw here. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now out comes Minnesota. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I don't care what the game plan was coming in. After these runs,
you're running it, right?
you make sure you keep circling on your play sheet, running plays that are working, and keep patting those big offensive linemen on the back. They're doing a great job.
Goes without saying, the defense is going to have to adjust to it.
In a big way, and they've got to figure out, do they have to sell out to stop the run, or can they just do it better than what they've done so far?
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And the linebacking core could certainly be crucial today.
They do everything really, really well. Fly to the football, defend the pass, you name it, they do it, as well as set the defensive front.
Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Now Gordon on 1st down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. 10 yards still left on 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. This is Gordon on the dump off. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a 1st down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's got a man. And it's Williams. 20. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, San Diego. Tyrell Williams, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And that one makes it 14-7. And the Chargers have made this a one-score game. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looks pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
Man, it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out.
Watch left. I need left. Force. Let's go.
On 3rd and 1, here's Bridgewater. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Yeah, he was looking for the checkout bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now San Diego getting set to go. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Back to throw here. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. They practiced this all week. Pretty clear it paid off there. Threw it downfield, made it look relatively easy.
And it always comes a little bit easier when you've practiced it and tuned things up and you're confident in what you're doing now. They felt very, very good about their...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And Charles, this is one of those inexcusable special teams penalties, an out-of-bounds kickoff.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Sometimes errors occur because of situations.
Here's Bridgewater. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. 13 yards there on the pickup. And that leads to a Minnesota first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Second down, Bridgewater. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll make it third down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need...
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
This is Gordon on the dump off. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now out comes Minnesota. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. More from Minneapolis after this. On third down, Bridgewater. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage. Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings booming away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now San Diego getting set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to...
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And now they're in the hurry-up. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll set up a throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will stop right around the 25. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
2nd down now after the incompletion. On play action, it's Bridgewater. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 3rd and goal for Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Buying time to his left. They find some open field here. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Offensively, they like their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. the play fake. Bridgewater. That's caught by Treadwell. A nice gain at 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
Red zone opportunity.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his third touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half.
And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Bridgewater from the gun on third down. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Laquan Treadwell, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings move it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Ever Everson Griffin in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Out of the gun now on third down. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And it looks like the offense did get the football back, but it is clearly in that end zone, and it's going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do?
Taking it right down Broadway. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And they're pushed back after the penalty, still second down. They come out here in the eye. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. From the gun, Bridgewater. And Rudolph has it left side. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
They were full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
A really nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater escaping the pressure right. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Gordon, it's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for San Diego.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 2nd down following the run. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. It led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
The sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists.
There goes Melvin Gordon. The 20, 10, and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of two play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything is working pretty well. For the defensive
what's
guy,
going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard 2nd down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the 1st down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Whoa, shifty. Whoa. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
Snap count threw the defense off. 5-yard penalty. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right around the 16. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end.